It's Setlist Stand Up Without a Net live from the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Comedians from around the world are coming on stage and they're going to riff on topics we gave them. Zero preparation, making comedy out of thin air for your sadistic pleasure.
The great thing about the setlist audience is generally they're people who get that the thing that you're doing is not easy and not meant to be easy. That almost becomes part of the fun of what we're experiencing together.
The never before seen setlist of Ahir Shah!
Okay, yeah, we don't have time for all of that, you know, because I've been in such a mood all day. I've been in a real mood all day, and here's why.
Why are they always so fucking quiet?
Because I don't trust people. I don't trust people who are that nice. I think that's my fundamental problem. I don't trust people who are that nice. I feel as though there must be some sort of secret agenda kind of in there, lurking behind the thing. Because these kinds of people, I don't trust. I don't trust the religious. I don't trust the kind. I don't trust anyone. Yeah. Their entire kind of order is predicated on the notion of sort of shaking and everything. Which is fundamentally, and you know, is that because they're kind of quaking in some sort of metaphorical sense, or is it because they want to make themselves more difficult to capture on film? Next! In Scotland, they can get very creative, the men, with nicknames for their penises. Next! And these are the sorts of nicknames that they have for their penises in America, you know? The Anaconda Rule is actually a portion of history. Right? It was a period in history. I don't know how well versed any of you are kind of in the Mayans and the Aztecs and these sorts of people. I'm an extremely well-read person, so I can talk you through this sort of thing. There's no need for you to fear. I mean, I don't want to patronize you in any way by the implication that you're not fully au fait with the Anaconda Rule. Which is, of course, what preceded Montezuma, you'll remember. The Anaconda Rule was a very, when, of course, millions were sacrificed, had their hearts torn out at the top of the pyramid to the feathered snake god Quetzalcoatl. Right. And it was during a particularly bloody time of Aztec history that this kind of occurred, and is known as the kind of for the number of people who were sacrificed to this feathered snake deity. And you know, thank God that we've moved on now. Right. And we don't feel as though we need to do that, but we can kind of look back on history as our collective history as a species, as humanity, as the cumulative evolution of our society as a whole, and think like, fuck, thank God we don't do that no more. But I do feel that it's very important for you to know, because if we're not laughing, and let's face it, at the moment we're not, we are at the very least getting a stellar experience of Aztec history.
Next!
What the coalition government is doing to our health service is nothing short of creating a monster. Next! The monkeys, they're flinging shit at me, but I'm flinging it straight back out of my mouth. Yeah, because I do that because we've got all of these social conventions in day-to-day society. Like, I go up to you and kind of, I'm talking to you now. If I call you a dickhead, you're upset, right? But if you say that to an emu, they don't know what the fuck's going on, right? You get away. get away with all sorts of stuff. It's the only place that I feel that I can actually access a notion of freedom of speech. I'm so constrained in my general life between people's assumptions of who I should be and who I need to perform. What aspect of myself do I need to perform in front of the people who I'm interacting with? What will not alienate them? How do I maintain my dwindling group of friends? You then go off to a zoo and call a leopard a cunt. You're feeling great about yourself. Call a leopard a bellend. But all the time, all the time, I just got one eye on the corner. Make sure there's not some fucking nice religious guy with an agenda. My name's Ahir, I tell jokes. Thank you very much. Good night.
To have something come at you from elsewhere and tell you that this is what you're doing now, you've got absolutely no choice in the matter. Yeah, I mean, otherwise, I'm a person who maybe can write a joke and deliver it competently, but I'm a comedian. That's kind of the difference.